What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to DSM pregame live Phillies Reds edition. Game 2 of a 4-game set. Pitching matchup, lineup cards, keys to victory, predictions, and much, much more, including Phil and I's best bet of the night when we are back in 30 seconds.
Holding gets around in front.
And Philadelphia has it.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to DSM pregame live, streaming to you guys on DSM Media's Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook channels. If you're new to the channel, head on over to @DSM_media on Twitter. Hit that follow button. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. And while you're at it, check out the link tree in our bio to take you to every social media platform we are available on. If you guys would like to be interactive on today's program, head on over to the YouTube channel specifically. Hit that subscribe button, like this video. And this is how we will be able to pull up your comments here, thoughts, questions, concerns with us on the screen. I'm your host, Dylan Davis. You can find me on Twitter @DylanJD98. And this is becoming too much of a regular thing day to day here, Phil. My man, Phil Stifle, the host of Trending in the AM and Fairway to Heaven here on DSM Media. Follow him on Twitter @BeardandKnowledge. Phil, love the shirt. Love the setup.
I try to drop a little subliminal message,
Yeah.
We do the best bets, I got a DraftKings shirt on.
I like it. I like
sponsor
DSM. They should.
They should. And I will wear this. I tried to drink nothing but Corona on shows for a while, thinking they would sponsor me. That didn't happen. So we're gonna switch it to DraftKings. Maybe they'll sponsor us if I wear the shirt regularly.
Maybe someone will get the hint that Phil keeps dropping day in and day out. Aaron, what's going on? Check out Aaron and what'd you say?
Mets still suck, Aaron.
Muck the Fets, right, Phil? Muck the Fets.
Right.
But our attention is no longer on the stinking, dirty Mets anymore. We are on to the Cincinnati Reds, where the Phillies took game 1 of a 4-game set at home last night, Phil. 4-1. Noah Syndergaard was great. We talked about that this morning on Trending. Don't have to get too much into it. But what are your thoughts on just the whole, can they keep this kind of, not momentum, but this whole kind of mentality of just turning the page after a bad series loss, like against the Mets, putting their heads down and continue to pile up wins against bad teams like the Reds tonight? Will they be able to kind of keep that mojo going as they have in the past?
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the MO. Yes, I'm hard on Rob Thompson. I was hard on them for the Mets series because, I want to hold people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the MO of this team. They do have a short memory. And in baseball, 162-game season, you have to have a super short memory. Otherwise, then you get into one of those scenarios where you just snowball and domino out of control, like some of these other teams that are 40 wins on the season, 50 wins on the season. That's what happens when you don't have a short memory. And the Phillies, Rob Thompson, for as many flaws as I think he has, does keep these guys all right. On with the next series.
Right.
We lost this one. Let's move on. Let's close the door, close that chapter, on to the next one. And he is very good at doing that.
Right. And I think that's a big thing in terms of
awake here.
No, sorry, just had to catch the breath there real quick. Had to inhale real big.
You know me, always want to call out people on a show.
There you go. 6:24, it's time for bed. But it's the beautiful thing about the sport of baseball. So I can only imagine, I know how it feels as a fan. I can only imagine how it feels as a player to be able to, after a mistake or a bad game, a bad loss, a cold streak, whatever the case may be, you get to go out there less than 24 hours from now and right that wrong. It's not like football where the Eagles could lose on Sunday night to the Dallas Cowboys, leaves a bad taste in our mouth as fans, and we don't get to see Eagles football for, let's say, 10 more days. God forbid they're on a bye and we don't get it for 2+ more weeks. That doesn't happen here, right? But it also does run the risk of things snowballing in a negative fashion more quickly than it would in other sports. And that's one thing that you have to give kudos to for Rob Thompson and this Philly squad is they haven't had that happen yet. Like I said, you win that game last night. That's step one. Let's see how they can continue to do it. Before we get to pitching matchups and lineup cards, Phil, I want to continue a conversation I just had on Faithful Fanatics with my man Gint, and it's something that's been a trending topic today on Philly Sports Talk Radio, on social media, and it's been one for the last couple of weeks. That's attendance. That's numbers at the Phillies ballpark. It's seeing New York fans overtake Citizens Bank Park. It's seeing a record low on the season last night, 19,100, whatever it was, at Citizens Bank Park last night. And everyone's trying to theorize, why is that? And you have the arguments. The money has been a big thing.
Absolutely.
Back to the one I heard today, back to school time, right? The other is lack of faith or trust in this Phillies team, lack of buy-in, etc. I think it's all grouped into one, but I want to throw you my theory. And I've mentioned it to you before, but me and Gint deep dived into the yard on Faithful Fanatics. And if you don't know what I'm talking about by the yard, I mean the little wiffle ball field out in right field at Citizens Bank Park where the kids all go and the parents take the kids and all that great stuff. And it's great, right? But think about how everyone keeps comparing it to, Jimmy Rollins has spoken out about, Brett Myers has spoken out about it. Fans are like, well, why is this? Like, why was it on a Tuesday in August in 2010 that place had 40,000 strong, and now we can't even field half of the seats, right? It was a different demographic. It was a different environment. And I think when you take the different demographic and combine it with everything else, the prices and all of that, that's why you're seeing these issues. This is just my theory, right? So back in 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, it was it was a party. It was the cool thing to do. Guys my age, guys your age, that demographic all in there. You went with your friends. Each person you paid your own way, got your ticket, you went as a group, you drank. It was a thing out of it. It was the cool thing to do. What is it now? What's the excuse of money? Families can't afford it.
You're onto something there, and I'm going to take it a step further. I talked about this on another show somewhere along the line this year.
Yeah.
All of us, like I was 28, 29 during that time frame. Right. You were a teenager. Like outside of you, a majority of the people that populated that stadium, that packed it 40,000 plus. The first time I ever remember a stadium having standing room tickets, they all got families now. And the 10-year-olds, the 9-year-olds,
they're not into it. Yeah.
They're now in that 20-year-old range that would be the ones populating it, but it's not a cool place to hang out.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, 2006, 2005, 2007, that place wasn't fully packed all year long. It took till late into September in 07 when we almost were when we were chasing down the Mets. Then all of a sudden it became the cool thing to do.
Right.
I had season tickets in 2007. I remember going early in the season. I remember early in 2007, I was at a Phillies game. It was a weeknight in the middle of the summer. Ryan Howard hit a walk-off home run in the 10th inning. There was like 10,000 people in the stands. I almost caught it. Literally landed like 4 seats away from me, the home run. And there's literally only 10 people in my section. I don't know how I didn't get that home run. To this day, I still regret not getting that home run ball. And you can see if you go back and watch that, I've seen it on replay. You see my boy's black Ryan Howard jersey, and me and him just going. You can see it. But the people that are of that cool age now are not excited to be there. They need to, if they make the playoffs this year, if they make some noise in the playoffs this year, next year you will start to see that attendance go up a little bit. But I don't think it's going to get to 40, 50,000 people because what you said, but there's also, I think, a big aspect of it is home theaters, the way TVs are, the way you sit at home, and you're live betting, you're live tweeting, your TikTok. People are TikToking live from their
bedroom's
home.
Right behind you. Your beer's right next to you.
The experience at home exceeds sometimes the experience at a ballpark of any kind.
Right.
And I think that plays into it.
I think they're all kind of linked in a chain, right? Because you brought up the kids that were my age then, that are around the age where it would be the cool thing to do. And you also mentioned how it wasn't the cool thing to do until winning came. Well, what has been the one missing piece to this Phillies team for a decade? Winning. So that cool phase phased out. So it's not just the fact. So what did the Phillies have to do then when ticket sales were low for a decade? They changed the demographic. I'm just joking around about the Yard, but do you know when the Yard was established in Citizens Bank Park?
No.
2018. Okay. So for the last, right around the time that they had to figure something out, we're not bringing people in. They turn it into a family thing. Now the family thing relates to the money because it's not one guy buying a ticket for him and his friends. It's a family of 4, 5, 6 having to go, and then the parking and the food. It's all related. But I don't think there's a singular biggest thing.
They're never going to do this, and it's a shame. But I grew up from a very working class family. There are 5 kids. My dad wanted to take us to Phillies games as often as he could.
Right.
But it was expensive. So we'd go on Sundays when they had general admission tickets. Back late 80s, early 90s, it was like $5 a kid, maybe $7 an adult. And that's still in late 80s, early 90s at, $30, $40 for tickets. That was a lot of money. But they're never going to change this. But they allowed families to bring a little cooler with a couple bottles of water, a bag of chips, whatever it may be. So my dad could go spend $5 on parking, whatever it was back then, $30 on tickets. All right, he could take his kids out for a Sunday good time for $35, $40. And he could do that at that price 4 or 5 times a summer. Now you're looking at ticket prices. They don't let you bring a damn thing in. A bottle of water for a kid that's going to throw half the water away is $6. I saw a video of somebody on a TV on a baseball game the other day. The kid had the hot dog, and the hot dog fell right on the ground out of the bun. Well, that was like a $17 hot dog, dipped in gold probably, that just fell on the ground. That dad just wasted that money. And that kid's going to cry. Now he's going to have to go buy another hot dog for that kid. That's the experience has gotten out of control financially. It's not conducive for families to go 5, 6 times. It's a one-time thing a summer for a family maximum to be able to go to a Phillies game.
You're not wrong, but then the argument is prices are high all across the country. And other teams who are in the same range winning-wise as the Phillies right now are selling out 30, 35, 40,000.
Have they gone 11 years without making the playoffs?
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a chain link, and it's one thing after another. It's not just the money. It's not just that it's a family thing anymore. It's then because they weren't winning, so it wasn't the cool thing to do. And it's just been this long laid out thing, and it's going to take time for them to build it back up.
It could be much worse. I'm sure you saw the tweet. I shared it before the show on my Twitter page.
I did see one where there's 3,000 people.
The Oakland-Miami game in Oakland, the Ring Central Coliseum. What the hell is Ring Central? I don't know. Had a paid attendance announced, which that's people paid. That means probably less actually showed up because that's pre-bought tickets and some people don't go. Paid attendance of 2,630 people. That was last night's game. That's bad.
That is absurd. Absurd.
That's not worth. You lose money by opening.
Oh yeah. You're
in
net negative at that point.
Yeah, you are definitely net negative at that point.
For sure. So it could be worse, but we'll see if things become on the rise. And how can they become on the rise, Phil? Winning. How do the Titans do that tonight? Well, I believe it's the same pitching matchup we saw last Wednesday in Cincinnati. Ranger Suarez on the bump for the Phils tonight against Nick Lodolo on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. Phil, not who has the edge, but what are you kind of looking for in this matchup here? Ranger has been very, very, very good since the All-Star break, and Lodolo somehow had the Phils number in a shutout 1-0 victory last week in Cincinnati. How can they kind of attack him differently?
All right, so this is a big moment for me because I always talk about, the Phillies in their history, the last 5-7 years, have struggled with young guys that they don't really know. Mm-hmm. And they struggled with this Lodolo, whatever you want to call him. Nicky L. We'll call him Nicky L.
Yeah, Nicky L.
All right. They struggled with him, obviously, no doubt about it. And I kind of talked in the next day on the morning show that he kind of had like a funky early career Chris Sale.
Quick.
Chris Sale, the herky-jerky motion, the big arm motion. You never knew which arm angle was coming from. Guess what? Now they've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
This is a moment where a good team, now they've seen them, there's no excuse. A bad team will go up with the same bad plate approach. The Phillies need to go up with a better plate approach. And,
sure.
Attack it. It's really weird to me. Like, how often do you play the same team like twice, like semi close together? We had a doubleheader one day, and we've got the exact same pitching matchup.
Yeah.
When it was Nick versus Ranger in that 1-0 game, it's again tonight. They get to see Ranger Torch, but they're a young, inexperienced, bad team.
Right.
The Phillies are on the cusp of a playoff run. They need to be able to attack him. There's no excuses that they cannot come out tonight and win this game.
Yeah, I agree. And just looking at it from Ranger Suarez's point of view, you obviously want to see him do what this pitching staff has been doing against the lesser talented lineups, and that is dominating. That is going 7-8 innings strong, limited runs, limited base runners, not a lot of stressful outs, stressful innings. And you just hope to see that again out of Ranger Suarez tonight. But a few funny things here, Phil, getting to the lineup card brought to you by my man KC over at DSM Media. Look what that says right next to Kyle Schwarber. What did we talk about this morning, Phil?
Oh, we did, and I liked. And when I saw that I got a DM from KC, the first thing I did was look to see who was in left field.
Who was in left field? 100%.
Yeah, and that was the first thing I looked at.
So Kyle Schwarber back in the field for the first time in left field, hitting leadoff for the Titans. Rhys Hoskins at first base batting second. Alec Boehm on the hot corner batting third. JT cleaning up at the catcher spot tonight. Nick Castellanos gets the night off from the field. He's DHing. Kind of like that move. Give him a night off just to focus in the batter's box. He's been red hot. He's batting fifth. Gene Segura hitting sixth at second base. Yairo Munoz called back up today in place of Derek Hall. He's in right field. Little odd. Haven't seen that yet. Matt Vierling in center hitting eighth. And Edmundo Sosa at shortstop, wrapping up this order ninth. Not going to lie, when you look 7, 8, 9, the eyeballs pop, and not in a good way. They pop in a, oh my, that does not look like
I am going to call out, what's our coach's name? Oh, Rob Thompson.
Right.
Look, Sosa starting over Stott tonight. Right. Lefty versus lefty. You could give me that number. And I forget who saw one of the lower end, not lower end, I shouldn't say that because he's a good guy. I forget what his name is off the top of my head. But what guy I follow that covers the Phillies for multiple websites pointed out that Bryson Stott has an almost 800 OPS against left-handed hitters this year. 796, 797, something like that. So I don't want to hear.
Wasn't it a lefty he hit the moonshot off of?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bryson Stott has no down and in against left-handers. And Sosa is an excellent fielder.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? And we could tie this in with the fans and the attendance. Do you think the fans in attendance want to see the hot shot rookie Bryson Stott or some guy they just traded for that's not going to be on this team in 3 months in Sosa?
Right. And here's an idea. And Stott's good defensively as well. So why not? Like, I know, like I said, I like Castellanos getting the day off, focusing on the batter's box. He's the only player in the NL with a 12-game hit streak. He's got the longest hit streak at the moment. He's been looking really good. So you want to give him a day here and there, especially before Bryce comes back to DH. I get that. But you still have a week, and wouldn't it look a lot better if Stott was in at shortstop? If you wanted Sosa in the game, Sosa at third, Boehm DH.
Dude, we're doing too many shows together. You're reading. We did not pre-prep for this show. You are literally reading my mind. We just talked on the morning show that Boehm's got a quad issue he's been dealing with for a while. Yeah. And Thompson's like, he's fine. He'll be back out there today, whatever. Why not DH him? Keep his hot bat in the lineup. You give him you just rested Schwarber from the lineup or from the field for a week because of a quad and let him DH. He's ready. Give Boehm that break. Castellanos, give him the break. I get it. But maybe this is not the moment for it.
Right, exactly.
You take Munoz out of this line. You take Munoz out, you add Stott. All of a sudden,
lineup looks a lot different.
A lot different.
110%. It's just, again, whatever. Against this Reds team, we're expecting for it not to matter. This is the game you can get away with something like that. I'm not trying to over-examine it.
I will give you one little bit of Sosa stat here for
right.
why he is in this lineup, okay? Out of the entire team, he's got more at-bats against Nicky L than anybody else. I guess where did
How
he
is
come
that?
from? The Cardinals?
Yeah.
So he played for the Cardinals most of this year, so he's got more at-bats. He's got 6 at-bats against this guy. So he leads the team in at-bats, so he's seen him the most. I was trying to find a reason why he was in this lineup instead of Stott, and that's the only thing I could think of.
And I don't even know. I don't even think that in most cases that's a good sign. That's a good thing. And I'm not trying to hate on him too much because he's had a couple nice hits. He's driven in a run or two since he's been a Philly. He's a little bit better in the plate than I expected, but he's still a sub 200 hitter. So normally when you're like, oh well, he's seen the guy the most, he's the most experienced against him. That's a good thing. I don't know if I want to give Lodolo that advantage. I think it's an advantage to get Sosa 4 times in this game.
Yeah, it's
just because he's seen them the most. But all right,
absolutely.
not going to over-examine it. But Phil, getting to again, it's not keys to victory, but just kind of predictions for tonight. A standout spot or guy in this lineup. What do you think Suarez does? How can the Phillies overall come away with a win tonight?
Well, first off, I'm putting all the pressure on Ranger Suarez tonight. This lineup, 8 of the 9 guys the Reds are throwing up there tonight have seen Ranger Suarez.
Okay.
They've got to combine 2 hits against Ranger Suarez in their career. I know it's a small sample size. Nobody's got more than 4 at-bats against him, so that means some of these guys have
one
faced
game,
him.
yeah.
1 game or 2 games. Moustakas is the only guy that's never faced him. But he has struck out almost every single person in this lineup. He struck out multiple guys multiple times. Ranger Suarez needs to come out and just because we struggled against Nicky L early, like last week,
right?
I want him to come out, slam the door, so that there's no pressure on this Phillies line. If Ranger Suarez comes out tonight, gives up 2 early runs, and this team that's already struggled against this Reds pitcher, maybe there's a little pressing at the plate all of a sudden. They start to feel the pressure. The 10,000 people in the stands start to boo or grumble a little bit. You don't want to ever feel the pressure, okay, in this situation against a Reds team. Again, it's a snowball domino effect. So I want Ranger Suarez. My key to victory is not on the offense. It's on Ranger Suarez coming out tonight and dominating this game like he should. He went 7 innings, struck out 8, no runs, only threw 96 pitches the last time against the Reds. I want him to come out and do the exact same thing tonight. If not, go 8. Dude, let's rest this bullpen. Let's see Ranger go 8.
That's my thing, right? With him being
9.
dominant.
Why
with
not?
him being dominant, I know the bullpen got like the day yesterday for the most part with Syndergaard's great start through 7, but still that this bullpen's depleted. It's injured. They've been working a lot over the weekend. You don't want Ranger. I don't foresee it happening. You don't want Ranger getting in trouble in the 4th, 5th inning and having to only go 5 2/3.
We've seen him a few times get into games, and he has a few innings where
it's all about his command. It's all about his command.
Am I crazy to think I don't really care about strikeouts? I don't do fantasy baseball. So I don't care about strikeouts. Strikeouts mean high pitch counts normally.
Yeah.
And I want to see Ranger Suarez go 7, 8 innings tonight. I know he got 8 strikeouts against the Reds the last time in 7 innings and kept it under 100. But I'd rather an 8 or 9 inning game with 5 strikeouts if he dominates and just lots of soft hit ground balls and whatnot. That's what I want to see tonight. And I think that if Ranger Suarez only goes 5 or 6 innings because he's got 95 pitches after the 5th inning, that's a bad sign for this game. It doesn't mean we lose, but it's a bad sign for this game.
Right, could be a bad sign for the rest of the week as well, depending on, you have Christopher Sanchez starting tomorrow because they wanted to give the starters an extra day, I guess, but you just had a Bailey Falter start.
That's going to help that attendance number even more, isn't it?
Yeah, right. But so, Phil, you mentioned you don't worry about strikeouts. So let's get to our best bets of the night. I don't know if it's in your same game parlay, but strikeouts could be a factor.
No, they are not.
No? So, listen, I'm going to give my best bet first. It's plain, it's boring, it's simple. That's because I need a little bit of a break, and I don't want to give people, if they decide to tail for some reason, a wrong bet. So I don't know if you saw my bet slip from Sunday.
No, I did not.
I
remember seeing it. Yeah.
Oh,
you missed it by 1, right?
Oh, by 1 strikeout by Kyle. I took him for 4+. All of the hitters I had hit by the 3rd inning, and he struck out the first 2 batters of the game, Phil. So all I needed was 2 strikeouts from Kyle Gibson the rest of the way. He didn't get through 5 innings. That was the most infuriating loss I've had, and I've had a lot of bad losses in same game parlays. That was probably the worst. So my best bet tonight, I'm gonna keep it simple. Phillies run line. Ring the bell, ring the bed slip. -110. It's a normal run line. I think they roll tonight. I think Suarez has a hell of a performance. I think he at least goes 7 and a third, somewhere in that ballpark.
Mhm.
I think the bats get to Lodolo. I'm going to go Phillies win. I'm going to go 7-2, Phil.
Damn you. Why'd I let you go first on this one? Now I got to change everything. Look, I got a little fun. Like, I don't bet baseball. Since you've got these pregame shows and I've done 2 or 3 of them now you got me betting baseball again. You got me donkeying money to DraftKings again. Yeah. Sponsor
DraftKings,
us,
we'll
man.
win you a lot of money. Like, you have a lot of my money personally. Like,
Yeah,
do
exactly.
me the favor.
I've donated so much money.
Yeah, do us the favor.
I got a funny joke. I'll tell you off the air on that. I got a little same game parlay for tonight. Okay.
All right.
And
as you're saying this, I'm literally going to put one in, even when I just said I'm not.
Yeah, you're gonna tail with me here. All right, so I got the Phillies money line because you know what? I'm confident that they're gonna win by multiple runs, but
you hate to lose it. Yeah, you hate to lose it.
I hate to lose it because I don't take the -1.5 and then they win by 1 and Jesus Familia comes out. Like, I see the Undertaker's casket coming out and it pops open and here comes Jesus Familia sitting up there. I took the Phillies money line, okay? And then I see one of the hottest Phillies on this team, Nick Castellanos, with another big game. He's in the DH role tonight. He, no pressure on him. He can just work on his hitting. So I got Nick Castellanos with 2+ RBIs and 4+ total bases. Now, I thought about putting him as a home run +400 in the same game parlay, but I backed off and went with the 4 bases just in case he doesn't hit the home run, gets a double, and gets driven in later on or something like that. Phillies money line, Nick Castellanos 4 bases plus 2 RBIs plus it's a +700 same game parlay.
I like that.
Don't lose your mortgage. Don't lose your college savings on it.
Yeah.
Throw a shekel or 2 on it, but that's it.
So let me ask you, Phil. Let me ask you, Phil, as I'm going through the same game parlay. I'm at a point right now where I just need an effing win. I just need something to get the positive vibes back into this DraftKings account.
Don't listen to me. Do not listen to me.
No,
listen to me for baseball golf. Don't listen to me for
So let me ask you. Would you pile on? I have a boost for this. Bigger the parlay, the stepped up boost, right? So I can either go Rhys Hoskins and Nick Castellanos to record a hit each at +130. Do I take it and just get the win a little bit of money? It's not bad. Or do I go Hoskins, Castellanos, and specifically with the lefty on the mound, Boehm and Segura for hits as well? Boosted gets it to +412.
All right, so here's my little game.
Or do I go with 3? Do I take one guy out?
So you bet both. You bet the for sure bet.
Okay.
2 units, which is gonna, and then another unit on the stretch.
The longer one.
If you cover your money, you break even if the short one hits, and if the long one hits, now you're talking about it. Now that's just bad gambling right there, because I'm just telling you to triple your bet.
I've done that,
But you take one bet and then you have another for sure bet that backs it up. I don't know. If you've been really struggling with it, I hate for baseball betting. I lose so often parlays when I do the base hit or the home run. Because one guy just strikes out. You had 6 strikeouts, 0 for 8 out of the top of your order last night. So if you had Hoskins last night, then you're screwed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So let me tell you real quick before we wrap up. I already threw out my one really bad beat on Sunday with Kyle Gibson missing by 1 strikeout. Here's my other one. Now, Kyle Gibson, it was like $25 to pay $212 or something like that, right? I had the Yankees Blue Jays game 1 Jose Barrios game last week, right? And I looked up how guys did against those pitching matchups. So I loved Judge and LeMahieu, and I loved Springer and Vladdy Jr. Both 1-2 hitters in that matchup. I took them all for a hit and threw a little bit less money on that, or more money on that, and then I took them all for 2+ bases. Okay. Springer doubled in the top of the first. Vladdy homered in the second or third. LeMahieu hit for 2 singles. And Aaron Judge, who is having an historic season, who is a career .470 hitter against Jose Barrios, went 0 for 4. So I didn't win either.
And that is
guess
exactly
what, Phil?
why I hate betting baseball.
And guess what? If he hit for both, if he hit the 2 bases and obviously that hit the 1 hit, over $850 combined from those 2 parlays it would have paid. Dude, he's having one of the greatest seasons we've seen in a while. And he's a great hitter against that pitcher. And he is the one that goes over. I couldn't, listen, I give out best bets. Don't take them. DraftKings, you want to sponsor? Sponsor me, sponsor Phil, because we'll bring you guys some money. All right, that is going to wrap up this edition of DSM Pregame Live, Phillies Reds Game 2 of a 4-game set. Everybody go enjoy the game. Try to win some money on it if you can, and let's hope the Phillies can continue this little positive stretch we can go on. Ring the bell and have a great night.